Welcome back. So I've made some progress on the plane. Since the last time, I have glued on the stabilizers on the back here and cut out the elevator and the rudder, and I've sanded down all the bevels. The main thing is that I've been working on the canopy, or the cockpit area. So it's coming along pretty good. Almost done sanding it. I'm just trying to get it to line up as good as I can with the back part of the fuselage here. But it's just a solid block of foam. It was two 1-inch pieces and then a 1/2-inch piece, and it started out as a solid block, and then I just used my hot wire cutter and some templates to try to carve straight lines at different angles until it got the basic shape, and then I just sanded it a whole bunch and used my knife to cut a lot of the foam away. It's pretty heavy though. It's like 60 grams just of foam, but I don't know if I'm going to try to dig out like the middle part, because it would remove a lot of material that's not needed, but I don't know if I want to go through all the trouble of doing that when it's really not that much weight overall. I'm 3D printing right now the landing gear brackets. It's gonna be a tricycle landing gear, so there's gonna be 3 brackets. So they're basically just little brackets. They're little boxes that go up into the fuselage, and then the landing gear wire will go inside of it, and I'll Gorilla Glue it in. So it's the same way that I made the landing gear bracket on this plane. I don't know if you can tell under there, but that's what that's gonna be. Need to make the motor mount, and probably gonna put the dowels or the carbon fiber rods in for the rubber bands. Originally I wanted to do the hidden dowels like I did with the FPV bush plane, where they actually go long ways, like where they go this way in the fuselage, and so they don't stick out. But just the way this fuselage is, you kind of need a big open space at the front to be able to wrap them in. The back's easy because you can kind of feed them in there, but the front you have to be able to wrap them in there. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, because I really don't want a big hole right here. On the FPV bush plane, it worked out well that the front is where this part opens up, so you can see that that's where you wrap them onto, and the back you just kind of fish them into there. So on this plane I would need to have this part open up if I wanted to do that. I don't know if I want to have this open up, so I might just go this way with the rods like I did my older planes. Now I've got the hinges for the rudder and the elevator glued in. I just used this foam cure super glue, and then I just used little Dubro nylon hinges. I just cut a slot with a knife and then glued them in there. So I have three hinges on the rudder and then 4 on the elevator. Then I also got the wing started here. There's a middle piece that doesn't have the airfoil. It's just going to mount underneath the fuselage. And then this is a section and that's a section, and those are just like a rectangle. And then the tips are tapered down a little bit. So that's that. And it's got a little bit of dihedral too. So that's almost done drying. And then I'll be cutting out the ailerons and the flaps and sanding the wing down. Alright, so here's the plane so far now. I've painted it with 1 coat of white paint, and I'll still have to put a couple more coats on. But you can see in here, I cut out this hole for where the wires will come through from the wing. And I glued in the 2 carbon fiber tubes here. These are where the rubber bands will wrap around the wing to hold it on. And then I just glued in the nose gear bracket, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's exactly the same as this. This was just one that the slot was a little bit too big, but basically it's just that's glued into there upside down, and there the tape's holding it down while it dries. And then this landing gear will slide into it like that. This one's a little too loose, so the one that's actually in there is just a little bit, the gap is a little bit more narrow, so that it makes a tighter fit. And then these 2 will be glued into the wing on the bottom, one on each side for the main gears. And I've been working on the wing. I got all the spars in the wing. I've got a spar all the way through on the top. It's actually 3 separate spars because I couldn't put one full spar in because of the dihedral. And then I've got 1 spar on the bottom, and it's very sturdy. So I've cut out the ailerons and the flaps, and they're right here. I still have to cut the bevel and then glue the hinges in for that. And then I'll be painting it after that and gluing in the landing gear brackets and putting the servos in. So that's the progress so far.